Welcome to my channel. I'm Jess, and this is Canyon Oracle, a place where we use divination tools like tarot and oracle cards to inspire healing and transformation in the lives of truth seekers just like you. Today we're going to be doing a reading on May 2020 predictions. So we're going to look at all different areas of life, from finance and friendships to romance, any great changes coming your way, blessings coming into your life in May. We're going to look at all of it. But before we get started, I just have to remind you, as I always do, that you are the architect of your own life, which means you have free will. So you can always make a new choice that could potentially launch you in a whole new direction. Also, these are just general readings, so some aspects of the reading may not apply to you, or you may choose a group and realize that it doesn't work for you at all. Please don't ever try to make it fit. Just move on to another pile or move on to another pick a card video. There's so many great ones out there that I've actually really loved watching myself. And a big reason why I love pick a card readings in particular is because it really invites the viewer to tap into their own internal guidance system and use their own intuition. And if that's something that interests you as well, I've actually created a really powerful meditation that can support you in doing just that. And I would love to gift it to you. You can find this meditation at canyonoracle.com/YT. It's also in the description box below. Other things in the description box are more about the work that I do. I do live one-on-one intuitive coaching sessions where I use things like tarot and oracle cards to really get to the root of whatever is stopping you and see any insight into how we can move you toward the life that you really desire. I have a great discount in that right now as well. And there's more info about the cards that I'm using in the description box. If there's anything that you're wondering about and you don't see it in the description box, please do not hesitate to leave me a comment. I promise I will get back to you. Okay, so without further ado, we have 4 groups to choose from today. We have group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So I just invite you to take a moment, really ground yourself in your body, feel your feet on the ground, and ask yourself the question, what will my May of 2020 be like? And then choose a pile that most resonates with you. And I'll see you on the other side. Hi, group 1. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today, some non-traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards, romance angels. We'll look at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the larger story that wants to be told. Okay, so let's see what's coming down the pike for you for May of 2020. So the first card we have is the 6 of Pentacles. What a beautiful way to start. Then we have the 9 of Wands. Then we have the Emperor. Then we have the card of Integrity. Then we have the 3 of Swords. This is in traditional tarot. Then we have the 5 of Wands. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. Then we have the card of Unrequited Love. Then we have the card Let Go of Control Issues. Then we have Forge, Don't Follow. Interesting. And the last oracle card that we have is To Be Fair, card of balance. Okay, so let's see what we're working with here. So the first impression that I have as a whole is about balance, which is really interesting. So there's some sort of power struggle or some sort of a dynamic where somebody is trying to take control or has been giving up too much of their control. So let's again see, let's just go one by one, but that feels like it's the general theme. So we have the Six of Pentacles, which is really a card about giving and taking. And it can be about receiving some bountiful inheritance or gifts or something like that. In this deck, it is material and spiritual prosperity. So it does feel like something is going to be given to you in the month of May, something tangible in the material realm. So it doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it literally can be food, it can be shelter, it can be gifts, it can be money. But something, again, that translates in the material. So something very tangible and real you are going to be given to you in May. Then we have the Nine of Wands. In this deck, it's spiritual strength. So I feel like what this is about for you in May is asking you to really call upon that internal strength that you have. And it's telling you to not give up. Because this is a card of dedication, of fortitude, internal strength, spiritual strength. You see how this Buddha is like holding up the whole ceiling? It's like that. And you see how there's a little man on the outside and there's this big Buddha behind him. It feels to me like you are going to have an experience of yourself as this large Buddha. In other words, you're going to experience how big you are, how strong you are, how powerful you are in the month of May. Because then we have the Emperor card, and in this deck it's authority. And this guy is powerful, and he's powerful in the material. So that feels very strong. Your message feels very strong to me that you are going to have an experience of yourself as being not just a spiritual warrior, but strong in the material realm in some way. Like laying the foundations for how you're going to move forward in your life in some way, in the material. Then let's go to these cards. Okay, so then we have the card of integrity, which is really next to and coupled with the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords traditionally in the tarot is a card about heartbreak, or it can be a card about getting to the heart of the matter. I chose this deck for a reason. I felt called to use this deck. So I don't think we should use the traditional way of looking at the Three of Swords. So in this deck, it's really about inquiring into the depth, the hidden knowledge about something, which also feels to me in some ways what the Three of Swords energy is about, which is really getting to the heart of things, which can be upsetting, no doubt. Because the reality is that truth changes things and lies keep things the same, which is why we so often are afraid of the truth, or we don't want to express the truth or hear the truth, because at a soul level we know that that truth could potentially destroy, change, alter what we perceive as safety and security in the world. But my sense is that you're going to be getting to the heart of something. And that's what integrity is about too. Integrity is about being truly in alignment with your inner truth. So how does that look? That can be like, you've been working at a job for your whole life that you feel not good about. For example, this feels relevant to tell this story to you right now. I was in a sales job for like 10 years of my life. My background is musical theater. I was always an actor my whole life. And so I had a really great sales job where I got to make my own hours. I was kind of my own boss in many ways. I could come and go. I still got to work and in the theater and do auditions and all that stuff. I had great flexibility. But it was out of integrity for me to do that job because I knew that I was not always telling the truth. Like, essentially, I would tell people that the marketing that I was selling would absolutely work for them, but I knew that I didn't know if it would work for them or not. So, other salespeople would be like, that's not lying, you're just selling your product. But for me, my soul felt like I was lying. That's what it is to be out of integrity. It's not as obvious as a black or white situation. It has to do with what you feel is true and right for you. So my sense is that you're going to be uncovering some sort of truth in your life that will cause you to think what's important to you, who you are, and it has something to do with a tangible realm. I'm getting relationships and money, so my sense is it has to do with work relationships. So maybe you have a business partner that you're thinking that you don't feel like this partner is in alignment with who I am anymore, and maybe you're going out on your own in some way. Let's keep looking. So then we have the Five of Wands, which is a card of conflict. Now, again, in the traditional tarot, it's not major conflict. It's usually could be like banter or teasing or sarcasm even. Sometimes I see it that way. Or just even playful arguing. In this deck, it's pretty severe. As we see, like these two guys are duking it out and it's super fiery. Now, it's sitting next to the Three of Pentacles, which is about working together over time. So it is clear, again, being illustrated here, that it has something to do with work relationships, it feels like to me. Like maybe you have been having a lot of conflict in your work relationships. Or there might be a new conflict that presents itself in May, and it's going to ask you to get clear about what is true for you, who you really are, what your values are. That's what integrity speaks of a lot, like your value system as a human being. What is true and right and moral for you? And is your work, your relationships, are those in alignment with those truths? These feel like the big themes for you in May. And it's not going to just be about you. This is definitely about other people, for sure. This is about your relationships. You're going to have to look at the relationships that are not in alignment with you as your higher self, like who you really are and what you really believe in. And again, it feels very strongly that this has to do with work and laying foundations in the material realm. So then we have the card of force, don't follow. Pave a new path, it says. Be the leader you wish you had. Fascinating. So again, leadership. This is a card of leadership. Feels like you are going to be asked to become the leader that you wish you had. So this could be a work situation, but it could also be like a parent. This could be about your father. It could also even be a spouse. Like maybe you have, because this is a general reading, this is going to be speaking to different stories. So I really invite you to plug it into your own life and however it resonates with you. So it could be like your husband, let's say, for example, or wife, whoever is sort of the pants in the family, in the relationship, whoever has more control and is more dominating, you may not be stoked on how they have been leading the show lately. And May is going to ask you to step up and take the reins, perhaps in a way that you never have before. Which brings me back to the beginning of the reading, where I said that I feel like May is going to be showing you who you are, the strength that you truly have. And we don't know how strong we are until we're faced with real adversity, or until we're asked to, really speak our truth in the face of no agreement, or when we have to break away from old relationships, old patterns of behavior, old work environments that are no longer in alignment with our highest good, that no longer resonate with our integrity, right? Those times we really get to see how strong and powerful we are. There's going to be something like that for you in May. We also have this card, To Be Fair. This reminds me a lot of the Justice card in the Tarot, which is a major arcana card, which is about how things that are not fair end up balancing themselves out. So what this tells me is there's something in your life that has not been fair. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, whatever that first thing is that popped into your mind, it's that. It could be a work situation. It could be a relationship situation. But there's something in your life that you have been giving your power away over and over and over again. And it's starting to really weigh on you. And the universe is going to give you an opportunity to take charge in some way, to become the leader, to become the authority in your own life. And perhaps that means breaking relationships, or it could also be just renegotiating those old relationships. It's not that we always have to start totally over, right? Sometimes it's just that we have to speak up in a new way, or we have to change things around. We have to set new boundaries. Something like that is going to be happening to you in May for sure. Now, I say going to be happening to you. Really, what I believe is that it will be happening through you. In other words, your soul has asked for this. Your soul has created this situation for you. Not to you, but for you, if that makes sense. Then the next card that we have for the romance angels, because I wanted to see, what was going on romantically as well. Very specifically, we got unrequited love. So it says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And then we got let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So we could really plug this into whatever this story is that wants to be told with all of these other cards. But it also could be very specifically about a romantic partner having nothing to do with this. Again, you're going to know in your heart how this applies to you. So with these two cards together, it really feels like someone is trying to push some romantic situation further than it is right now. So this may be you, or this could be your partner. If you're not in a romantic situation, this also could apply to whatever relationship it is that we're seeing in the rest of the cards, right? So somebody, either you or the other person, is trying to control the relationship, but they're trying to make it out to be more than what it is. So that unrequited love energy is like, we're not there yet. Doesn't mean we're never going to be there, but it's like, no, we're not there. You're asking me to marry you, and we just met a month ago. Ooh, slow your roll, buddy. It's kind of like that, right? So it is like, the advice is to let go of control issues. So if this is you, let's say you are the feminine in the relationship and the masculine isn't going fast enough for you, then it would be like, and you're trying to like, why isn't he doing this? And he should be, and you're nagging at him, let's say. The cards are telling you to chill out about that and really just let this unfold the way that it needs to. This is about you discovering who you truly are and laying your own foundations and not waiting for the other guy to do it for you, or not waiting for the other guy to do it so then you get to do it. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's like when we're in partnership, and it could be a work partnership or a romantic partnership, we can be sort of, we can project our own stuff onto other people, right? Our own anxieties or worries or fears onto other people, and not really face whatever fears and anxieties are going on with us. So then it can be about, they're not moving fast enough, they need to be doing this. But really what it is that we are the ones who need to find the security and the safety within our own lives and stop looking for the other person to do that for us, right? And that can be in either way. It can be, I'm doing it to my boyfriend, or my boyfriend is doing it to me, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of themes of relationships balancing themselves out this month. So I would say absolutely to check in with yourself before, if you're watching this before May, because I know I'm posting this before May, you could even get ahead of things, because we know, first of all, there is no such thing as time really beyond this experience that we're in. So in other words, you can watch this reading at any time and it could apply to you right there in that moment. You don't have to wait till May. Or you're watching this in June and it can apply to whatever you're going to right then. It really is timeless in that way. So whenever you're watching this, I would suggest that you take this opportunity to evaluate your relationships and really look at where they're out of balance. Are you giving too much? Are you taking too much? Are you expecting too much? Are you waiting for the other? Where is it that you can really bring your focus into on your own plate, so to speak, right? In your own life. Where is it that you can start to lay a foundation for your own life that will bring you security and happiness and safety and abundance? Where can you become the leader that you wish that you had? So sometimes it's like all we have to do is look at where we're complaining the most. So I'm always complaining that I don't make enough money, or I'm always complaining that my boyfriend doesn't do whatever it is. Then you want to ask yourself, what is it really the need? What is it that I really need from my boyfriend? I'm looking for more love, or I'm looking for more safety. Well, where can I give that to myself? Right? That's the next question that you want to look at. Where am I not giving to myself? Where have I somehow given up on my own self and my own power, my own capabilities to be the leader, to create the life that I want to create? And start to look at how you can start to experience yourself as the leader, as the powerful co-creator of your own life, and start to take your power back and start to plant the seeds of the new foundation of your life. Because if we put all of our energy externally, if we always look for the outside validation, sources of goodness and happiness, sources of abundance, we will never feel safe. We will never be truly satisfied, because the external is always going to change. There's no way around it. We cannot control other people. They have free will. They can always make their own choices. So if you're always complaining about what other people are doing or not doing, you will always be dissatisfied. That is guaranteed. So if you want to start to cultivate real peace in your life, you want to start to plant the seeds in your own garden so that you can feel more balanced. You want to start to feel that peace and serenity within yourself. You want to start to feel the integrity of being in alignment with the truth of who you are, operating out of your own truth. So this is going to be a really powerful month for you in May. This is a very powerful time for you in the world of relationships. And again, it just feels very strongly to me. I really invite you to go within, to do some really beautiful internal work. I'm filming this in the middle of the quarantine, so you may be locked down in your house right now as well. So you want to find a space in your house, if you're not living alone, to go within and do some really nice work within. So that means doing some meditation, some visualizations, like the free meditation that I am giving away called Inward Journey is actually perfect. You go on an investigation, you go on a journey within yourself to meet yourself. And then you can do some journal work about what's going on here. What relationships are not really working for me? Where am I giving my power away? Where am I expecting other people to be the leader of my life when that's my job? Where can I start to feel balanced within myself? Because it feels like this world may just continue to get crazier and crazier, right? We have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. So if you want to experience balance and peace, you have to go within. You have to. We're all being asked to go within. And then it will be clear to you where it is that you're giving your power away. What relationships are not serving your highest good? What business endeavors have you been in for however many years that just don't work for you anymore? You know, and what changes you want to start to make in your life. What a beautiful reading. There's really powerful stuff going on in your life right now. I'm excited for you. I would love to hear what this reading was like for you, what resonated, what didn't resonate for you in the comment section below. If you feel comfortable sharing, that would be amazing. If you enjoyed this reading, a thumbs up would be incredible. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every single week, so maybe there's others that resonate with you. Again, you can find that free meditation at canyanoracle.com/YT. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. I send you so much love and light. And until next time, be well. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today. Some non-traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards, romance angels. We're looking at all areas of your life today. We'll look at each card and then we'll really see the larger story that wants to be told. Okay? So we start with the throat chakra. Communication is going to be a big theme for you in May. Then we have the Six of Swords, and in this deck it's moving on. A lot of blue already. Then we have the Seven of Wands, and in this deck it's stand your ground. Then we have the King of Water. I love this deck, by the way. It's so beautiful. And I love the King of Water particularly in this deck, which is the King of Cups in traditional tarot. Then beside him, we have the Queen of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands. Wow. Then we have the King of Earth. Beautiful, which is the King of Pentacles in traditional tarot. Oh my gosh, we have 3 kings for you. Then we have the King of Fire, which is the King of Wands in traditional tarot. Holy, holy. So then we have the Trust card. Interesting for your romance angels. Then we have past life relationship. Clearly we have themes of relationships for you here in May. Then we have Lost Lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. You've done this before, and past life relationship. Okay. Oh, and then we have the card of Treasure Island. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What an interesting month. Okay. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so the throat chakra, again, is really all about communication and pure communication. So really expressing your highest truth, your deepest desires, who you really are. It is the upper chakras, so it's in the spirit realm. It's like beyond the material, but connecting with really the truth of who you are. It's interesting. Integrity seems to be a theme because I really feel like the throat chakra has a lot to do with integrity, like literally speaking your truth, what you believe in, who you are, what you truly have to say. Then we have the Six of Swords moving on in this deck. So this card is literally about moving from sort of a chaotic energy into a more peaceful energy. This is a very positive card. So maybe there were a lot of conflicts going on in your life, or internal conflicts that now you're able to express. So there's something about that like either you were fighting with people a lot or with one particular person, and now you're coming to some peaceful resolutions, or you had a lot of internal conflicts about what was going on, and now you're going to be able to truly express yourself and feel better about it. Then we have the card of standing your ground. This is the Seven of Wands. This is the same deal. It's like standing up for yourself, standing your ground. This isn't like a swords card, so it's not like major conflict. It's not like you're fighting for something. You're simply articulating, these are my boundaries, this is what I believe, and I'm going to stand up for myself. So, you're really going to be expressing yourself in the month of May. And maybe this is new for you. Maybe typically you are not great at speaking up for yourself, or, really sharing what your truths are, who you really are, what you really need, what your boundaries are in life. But in May, you really are going to be asked to do that. Interesting. So let's look at all of these suits. We have kings and queens up the wazoo. So we have the king of water right next to the queen of fire. And I want to look at them all together because boy, oh boy. So then we have the king of earth and the king of fire. Oh, interesting. So it could be about relationships, but it also feels like there's going to be a transformation inside of a relationship for you in the month of May. And it has to do with you stepping into your power in some way. Because we start with the king of water with the queen of fire. We then move into the king of earth with the king of fire. So there's an upgrade in the fire energy. And my sense is that you're the fiery one. And that whomever your partner is traditionally like the king of water. So the king of water is a very emotional, I'm going to say man, but please just apply whatever pronoun is appropriate for you. So it could be a man or a woman or whomever. So the king of water is traditionally a masculine energy that is very emotional and very creative. Now, sometimes the positive side of this card is someone who fully expresses themselves openly, all of their love and their desire and romantic and all of that. But a lot of times, the king of cups, the king of water, can be very suppressed. So they have all this deep, rich emotion within them, but it's like they can't get it out into words. And it's interesting because it's right above the throat chakra. So I also, because this is a general reading, these energies could be applying to you, or they could be applying to your partner or whomever it is that you might be thinking of as we're talking about this reading. So it could be that you're moving into a more expressive energy, or your partner is finally starting to express themselves. Somebody has been suppressed around here. Maybe both of you. Maybe both of you have not been speaking up, but now you're going to. Now you're really going to step into a whole new level of communication between you. So then he's right next to the Queen of Fire, and the Queen of Fire is the Queen of Wands, and she is dynamic, powerful, very self-expressed, very confident kind of energy. Magnetic, people are really drawn to her. Fiery, passionate woman. And And I'm noticing the butterflies on her card. So there is this transformational energy that's happening in the month of May, and it's coming through self-expression in some way. It's like it's important that you speak up for yourself. And it may be about you expressing your feelings to this person even, or them expressing it to you, or both of you together finally expressing all this stuff that's been hidden, all this deep emotional love that's not really come to the surface yet. So then we move on to the energy of the King of Earth, right next to the King of Fire. So this is powerful, powerful energy. Grounding energy with this fiery, passionate purpose energy. So it's something about grounding all of that passion and purpose into the earth. It's kind of like, when you have all these great ideas, like maybe you're in a relationship and you've been super excited about it and thinking about it all the time and wondering and fantasizing, but it hasn't really come into the earth plane yet. It's like it's hasn't manifested in the material. So what's happening is it's moving from this emotional, fiery energy into a more tangible, grounded, energy in the material. So, hold on, let me just see here. So I'm seeing, we have the Queen of Fire who has a cat, and then we have the King of Fire who has a lion. So it's a graduating passion. It's a graduating purpose. It's an upgrade into your passions and your purpose. And it feels definitely like it has to do with a relationship for you. So it feels like an upgrade in a relationship. Like maybe it's just at the beginning stages and you both are feeling a lot for one another, but you haven't actually expressed it all. You haven't been like, okay, we are now gonna move into a committed relationship. Something like that is definitely happening in the month of May. Because then we have I'm going to look at your romance angels now. We have trust, which says, this situation is calling for you to have faith. And I'm noticing that she's the one that's really going into him. And we can't express our feelings unless we have faith and we trust that the other person has feelings as well, right? Or just faith that we'll be okay no matter what they say or no matter what happens. We have to have some level of faith and trust in the inherent goodness of the world and our own ability to bounce back, or in the goodness of the other person, in order to fully express ourselves. So this is really going to be a test of faith for you. If you want to stand up for yourself and really speak your truth, you have to trust in yourself and in your own feelings in a way too. I think that's a big theme for you for the month of May. Like, you really got to trust that the feelings that you have are real, and that what you're experiencing with this person, it wants to come into the tangible. It wants to come into the material realm. And I'm seeing that the last card is Treasure Island, and I was really looking at this as the theme of the whole reading. And this card is just about beautiful, abundant energy that's right there. I'm noticing that here is this turtle in the middle of the ocean, right? Which he's a sea turtle, so he's comfy in the ocean. It's not like scary in any way, but he has to carry these treasures on his back. And it kind of feels like he may not even see them there. It's like sometimes all of the beautiful gifts, all of the answers to all of our problems are literally right there. They're right there. And all we have to do is look up, right? It's like I'm being reminded of this TED Talk that I saw once of this woman who had a near-death experience. She died for some amount of time, and she came back from that near-death experience and had this great remembrance of what she saw. And although she wasn't able to fully articulate it, she used this great story, this metaphor, to describe how she thinks we're living our lives. And how she described it was that it's as if we are all inside of some large warehouse, and the lights are turned off in this warehouse. And we are walking through this warehouse that's filled with stuff, gold and jewelry and, anything we could ever need is all inside this warehouse. But there's no light. All that we're given is a single flashlight. So we have to move through this warehouse and try to find everything that we need with this one flashlight. So all we can see is what's covered by this one beam of light. So we may be looking over here for those matches that we need, or we may be looking over here for that money that we need, or that answer that we need, but all we see is this side of the wall, and we're going, where is it? It's not here. Where is it? It's not here. But it could be literally right here. Right here. And all we have to do is shine our light in a new direction. And that's what it feels like is going to be happening for you in the month of May. Like, a lot of times, demonstrations from the divine. So in other words, a miracle. A miracle happens after we take a leap of faith. And your leap of faith, it feels like to me, is about self-expression, so that you can move from whatever chaotic energy or things that are upsetting you in some way. You have the control to change them. That's what this feels very strongly to me, is the message for you. That you have all of this treasure, it's right on your back. So whatever love you're seeking, whatever abundance you're seeking, whatever it is that's truly upsetting you right now, it's important that you stand up for yourself and speak your truth and ask for what you want. Because I have a feeling that you're gonna get it, but the universe first wants you to ask for it, because that's the lesson for you. Now, the other part of this is that this may be a past life relationship that you're working with, which means that it could literally be from another lifetime. It could be that you were with a person, this person, your person in another life, and you're coming back into this life, and so you're kind of doing it all over again, but in a new way. And it feels very strongly that your lesson this time in this incarnation is to speak your truth to this person inside of this relationship. Could also be that it's just that you were with this person before and now they're coming back around again, meaning in this life. Because again, we have all of these court cards and we have this upgrade from the queen to the king. So it's like, it's just changing. The relationship is transforming in some way, but it has everything to do with you speaking up for yourself. Again, I'm going to qualify it by saying it also may have to do with them. But often in our partnerships, we mirror one another. So whatever your lesson is could also be theirs. So it's maybe about both of you speaking up for yourself in some way so that you can have this transformation, so that you can experience all of that treasure that's right there waiting for you. If it's not about a romantic relationship, it could also be about a work situation. It could be that the answer that you're seeking is literally right there, and all you guys have to do is start talking about those ideas that you had that nobody wanted to talk about, right? But this new incarnation, this new birth, from this past energy moving into a new energy. So again, it could be from a past life, or it could just be from a few years ago. It also could be from yesterday, but a new change, a new transformation is happening. Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. You've done this before. So you have got this. Whatever is going on with you right now is absolutely in your power to change. And it's not new. It's not, You're not going to have to reinvent the wheel with this one. You've already got all the tools. It feels like a very small shift is going to give you a huge reward. And you're being asked to trust in yourself, to trust in your person, and to trust in the divine, to trust in the inherent goodness of the universe, that all is well. All of life is working for your highest good. All of life is in service of your highest good. So that means even when there's breakdowns, even when things are not going well, even when it feels like the whole world is breaking down right before you, if you trust that there is good, that God is good, that life is good, then you know that there is a hidden gem inside of that chaos, inside of that destruction, inside of the conflict in your mind. There's a jewel there that's waiting for you, but the universe just wants you to act. The universe wants you to speak. The universe wants you to stand your ground so that you can experience that treasure that's literally right above you. And it's not going to be huge. You're not going to have to learn some whole new thing. You're not going to have some whole new partner. It's like, it's the same partner. It's the same job. This is what it feels like to me. It's like, it's right there. So maybe you were thinking, I got to break up with this person, or maybe you were thinking, I got to get a new job, or maybe you were thinking, I have to move. It feels like the move, the change that you're needing is very small. It's a very small shift. And it starts with you speaking up for your idea, your belief, your truth, your boundaries, whatever that is. And even if I say, I have been saying that it could be about the other person, I don't want that to be like, for you to go, yeah, the other person is the one who needs to speak up, right? Because you're watching this reading. So I really just invite you to look for yourself at how this may apply to you, because I do feel strongly that the message really is for you. And it is about trust, and trust, it feels like trust in yourself. It really does. It feels like your big lesson for the month of May, and your big breakthrough, and the exciting thing that will present you all of this treasure that's right there, is about you having trust and faith in yourself. And allowing that faith and that trust in yourself to materialize in self-expression, in saying how you really feel. It may be that you have work ideas that you've never expressed to your business partner before, or your boss before, but you need to stand up as the king and say, these are the ideas that I have. And I think they're going to make us a lot of money. And I think you're right. I think you have great ideas. I think that you have hidden talents and gifts that are waiting to be revealed. I think these hidden talents and gifts come from maybe a past life energy, something you've done before, something you've mastered before. And now it's time to bring those gifts back into the present moment. Because they're there, they're waiting for you. And again, that could be around work. It could be around relationship. It could be that I see that we need to do this inside of our relationship. And I think we should do that. And what if we talked about these sort of things? What if we, played with these sort of ideas? Whatever that is, you're the one that's being given the ideas right now. And if you don't express them, then the world will not have them. And you may, because here's the reality, we do have free will. It feels very strongly to me like these energies are moving through your life. And if you just allow them to, they will move through you. You will start to express yourself. We were asking for predictions. So it's like, this is what's coming. This is what's coming into your life. But you do have free will. So you can always choose in the moment to shut yourself down. So you're watching this video for a reason. And I think the reason is to give you permission, when you have the impulse to speak up, to do that. Because there's so much treasure there. It's waiting for you, and you don't want to miss this opportunity. I do believe that we're always given new opportunities. I don't believe like, oh, you missed your shot and that's it. That's not how the world works. It's ever abundant, ever flowing. You will always get a new opportunity, but you might as well take advantage of it in May, right? Feels like there's a lot of beautiful new opportunities available to you in May that will bring you a ton of abundance. If you're not experiencing that abundance right now, look for those opportunities in May, because what also may happen, because I'm seeing this portal energy here. You see this portal energy that you're going to walk through something. So it feels like what's going to happen is, and this guy in this Six of Swords card is also walking through something. So what that's telling me is there's gonna be something that you see, an opportunity, a door opening. Someone's gonna maybe ask you a question, or let's say you're in a work meeting online, and somebody says, hey, who has an idea about so-and-so? You're going to have an impulse to speak. There's going to be like a metaphorical portal or door that opens for you, and the universe is going to go, okay, you want to walk through it? You want all this treasure? You have to walk through. You have to speak up. So I invite you to look for those opportunities, expect those opportunities, and when you see them, be brave enough to speak up, to stand your ground. I guess we didn't need to look at that card. Because you know already. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I would venture to say that there have been moments in your life before where you haven't spoken up and you haven't stood up for yourself and you've missed that opportunity. That's my sense, is that inside of the relationship or work or however it applies to you, you have felt before in the past like there was an opening that you didn't take and you regretted it. And now the universe is going to give you another opportunity in May to walk through that door, to express yourself, to grab hold of that treasure that is yours, that is on your back. This is your treasure. You found it, you claim it, you stand up for it. That's how it works. You know, sometimes we're not able to actually receive something until we claim it. Until we say, it's my idea. I have this great idea about how we can move forward. And the minute you say it, the minute things start to really unfold, because you'll step into a whole new experience of yourself, you'll energetically shift, your vibration will rise, and then you'll attract a whole different thing. It's like you'll all of a sudden be able to turn the lights on for a minute and really see. Even if it only lasts for a minute, it's still a minute. It's still a minute of greater perspective than you've ever had before, which will give you a different view. And all it takes is one moment of clarity to launch you in a whole new direction, where then you get all new opportunities, all new timelines, all new outcomes are presented to you. When you literally raise your vibration, you see things differently, and then you become available to all new things. Does that make sense? I see very exciting opportunities for you in May. Whole new adventures waiting for you. And the universe is going to make it obvious because it's here in this reading. So I would love to hear what these things are for you, because I know there's going to be some really exciting things, some really exciting opportunities for you to express what you see, what you feel, what you know in your heart, and trust yourself. And I guarantee you're going to get beautiful results so that you'll trust yourself even more. So the next time you'll be able to take even greater risks in life, so that you can stand up into this powerful king of fire who knows who he is, who speaks his mind, who creates change. In the flick of a button, things can change for this king of fire. And that's who you're going to become in May. You're going to step into that energy in a way that maybe you never have before. It's exciting. I'm excited for you. Okay, group 2, this was your reading. I hope that it resonated for you. I would love, again, to hear what it was like for you in the comments below if you feel comfortable sharing. This may be your first opportunity to start speaking up, right? If you enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be amazing. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every week, so maybe there's others that will resonate with you as well. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and light. And until next time, be well. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today. Some non-traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards, some romance angels. We're going to look at sort of all the cards, and then we'll look at really the larger story that wants to be told. So we start with a Strength card, which is a beautiful card to start with. Powerful. Power is the name of the card in this deck. Then we have the Two of Pentacles, and in this deck it's movement, choices, and decisions. Interesting. We have the Heart Chakra card. Beautiful. Then we have the 11 of Water in this deck. It's emotions and intellect, and this is the Page of Cups in traditional tarot. Then we have the card of Healing. Beautiful. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles, or the 8 of Earth in this deck. I love that card. Then we have 0, Choice, which is very similar to the Fool card in traditional tarot. Then we have the card of Passion. Okay. Then we have Express Your Love. Oh, I love that. Then we have the Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Interesting. And then we have the card of the Never-Ending Story. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the Strength card. The Strength card is very literally about finding your inner strength, taming your ego in a lot of ways, dealing with your fears and your insecurities, and really coming into alignment with your higher self and knowing who you truly are as this powerful spiritual being who has access to all this power. Great, great internal power. Also, you know, I'm reminded of the lion is the Leo energy, and Leo rules the heart. So there is something about a strengthening of an opening of your heart chakra. So my sense is that there has been some closing down, that maybe you have been closed down in some way around your heart energy. You know, life is hard a lot of times, and people can be assholes. So maybe you have had some hard relationships, and it's caused you to close yourself down in many ways. But I feel like in May, you're going to have an opportunity to open up your heart chakra again and start to realize that your heart is really always safe because you are the master of your own energy. In other words, people can be as shitty to you as they want to be, and you still are safe. You still can maintain your own inner strength and power with an open heart and still love them anyway. Like, how do you love a person who is a jerk to you? Is such a beautiful question. And I believe that is one of the greatest lessons of this existence in this 3D realm, in this life that we're all living here, is about how do you love someone who is cruel? How do you love someone that attacks you? You know, in traditional tarot, the Strength card is like a woman, a young maiden who is with this big scary lion, and she's prying his jaws open. So it's like, no matter how crazy the outward world looks, no matter how aggressive that person is, and no matter how weak you feel, your internal strength, your heart is the source of your power. And your heart energy is the thing that will tame that beast. Whatever that external conflict is, your open-hearted energy is the thing that will dismantle it, is the water that will put out that fire. So then we have the Two of Pentacles. So in this deck, it's movement, choices, and decisions. And this really is about like moving things around in the material. Things are shifting, things are changing. This can sometimes be about like juggling finances, trying to get, make ends meet. It can be working with people and partnerships. So it can be like, it feels like it's movement around partnerships in some way. That may have been challenging for you, and now you are opening up your heart to them. Okay, let's keep going. So then we have the Page of Cups in this deck. It is the 11 of water, and it's emotions and intellect, and it's right next to the card of healing. So obviously there's some emotional stuff that's going to be healing for you. Again, emotions and the heart, right? It's really the same energetic center, the emotions and the heart. So there's going to be so much beautiful healing energy coming into your life in May around your heart, around your emotions. Again, it feels like in areas that you've been heartbroken before, now there's going to be tremendous healing. And maybe what's happened to you before is that you've energetically moved into your mind. So, we have these two areas, these two power centers that a lot of us are working with, which is the intellect and the heart, or the intellect and the emotions. And what happens a lot of times is when we get our heart broken, we move into our mind and we over logic. We use so much logic to figure things out. And we forget that we have this whole other power center in our hearts, because we want to protect our hearts. So then we go like, I don't want to love anymore because that's scary. So let me just think my way out of this. Let me logically figure things out and protect myself with my mind so nobody will hurt me again. I'm just going to figure out who this person is. It's like when you enter into a relationship with that kind of person, you can always tell because they're always trying to figure you out. Well, how do you do this and how do you do that? And asking so many detailed questions about what you believe and who you are, and doing background searches, right? Because they're like, I'm not getting hurt like that again, so I'm just going to figure this out with my mind. But what they forget is that their heart is still the greatest communicator. Your heart is always going to tell you what is pure, what is good, what is righteous, and what is shady, and what is not true, and what is unkind. And by closing down your heart, you really lose access to all that power and all of that true wisdom and insight that comes from the energy of the heart. So there's going to be a lot of healing for you in May around your heart space and balancing in some way your intellect with your emotions. Big theme for you in May. So then we move on to the 8 of Pentacles with a card of choice. So the 8 of Pentacles is really about mastery. It can be also about getting paid for hard work over time. You become a master at something. It feels like this woman is like this powerful goddess energy of the earth. So it's like, and look at how much green, that heart energy, the heart chakra is this color of green. So it's like there's a lot of green. And you know what? Money is green too. So there might be something having to do with money around using your heart energy to make money, if that makes sense to you. Like maybe you've been trying to figure things out with your mind too much, but now you're moving into a space in your life where you want more heart-based income. You want to really make a difference. You really want to be of service in a different way. So you need to just to apply it to your life however it resonates. So if you're in a relationship, this could be about the relationship that you're currently in. It could also be about your finances. It could also be about both, because we're working with this 2 energy, the 2 of Pentacles. So it could be about juggling your relationship and your finances. And how do I do all of this stuff and keep my heart open and also use my mind as well? Because we have this choice. 2 energies of choice here. The 2 of Pentacles and the choice card. So this is, the the Fool, or the 0 point energy, is the pre-manifest. It is where the divine resides. It's before things come into fruition. It's actually almost like before you make a choice. It's that energy of not choosing almost. It's like that still point energy. So it feels like the message or the guidance is to step into that energy. So don't force yourself to make a choice. Maybe you feel like you have to make a choice about something right now. Like you have to choose to leave the relationship or choose to, leave the job. And it feels like it's okay for you not to make the choice. That sort of stuff naturally will work itself out a lot of times. Until we're like, it's so glaringly obvious. I always feel like if you don't know what to choose, don't make a choice yet. And just pray and meditate and journal and do all of those things. But try to keep bringing yourself into that neutral space where you're not trying to figure things out so much, but really just allowing for the answers to reveal themselves. And that comes from that 0 point energy, that space of neutrality, where you're not trying to make things black or white or figure things out in your intellect, but rather going to that heart space. That heart space is also that 0 point energy. It's that same thing. So this is obviously a big theme for you to continue to go back to your heart. So 0 point energy can sometimes be like difficult to make sense of. Like, what the heck am I supposed to do? How do I get to 0 point energy? That seems so ridiculous. But you do know what the heart feels like, right? You do know what it feels like to have an open heart, to fully love unconditionally, no matter what's going on. So that lesson also is about you loving your life, and whatever hardships you're going through, whatever circumstances are happening in your life right now, you're being asked to love them. Love them unconditionally. Love the people in your life, love yourself, love your job, and connect to those, like why you love them to begin with, kind of, is what I'm hearing. And we also got this passion card. So this card says, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So we couldn't get any more messages about you opening up your heart in May. And my sense is it's already happening. So this is just to confirm that is exactly where you should be focusing your attention and your energy. That is going to bring you everything that you're looking for, is that heart energy, and finding where your passions are, what really makes you happy, what you enjoy doing, what you love to do. And maybe it is singing, maybe it is art, maybe it is some sort of creative expression that will be healing for you in a way, because it will connect you to your heart space. Sometimes all we have to do is find our bliss and our heart will open, right? Our heart closes down because we've been experiencing so much pain, suffering and pain. But when we have fun, it's so easy to love again. It's like we get conflicts in our relationships. I know inside of my relationship, if I'm not happy in my life, I am going to look for problems in my relationship and consequently cause problems in my relationship. But if I feel happy, if I just hung out with some friends the day before and, I've created something that I really love, then the next time I hang out with my boyfriend, it's most likely going to be a great time because I feel good. Both of us have to deal with keeping our heart open. And then we get to experience the heart open within both of us, and then all of the fun is just naturally there. There's nothing to force or change about it. So it feels like there's something like that you're being asked to really connect to your passions. And maybe that is something that you've been working on for a really long time, that you have become a master at. And maybe it's time that you step into that field or use that to make money with. There might be something like that for you too. Again, you have to apply it, because this is a general reading, just apply it to your life however it resonates. But there is something about self-expression, passion, creativity Because then we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. You're really being asked to be loving and to love and to enjoy just loving your life, your person, etc. I just heard follow your bliss. So that's going to be a really important message for you. No matter what is going on, okay, so here's what I see too. The great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So Mars is often about cutting things off. So if you have cut something off in your life, maybe a relationship or work or something like that, you're going to be asked to start to follow your heart. Or maybe you didn't literally close anything down or break off any relationship. It's going to apply differently for different viewers, obviously. But it's time now to start to follow that heart energy, what feels good to you, what feels loving to you. And it will bring you to a space of real mastery and healing. Like mastery and healing feels really big, so that you can experience yourself as the powerful co-creator that you are of your own life. And it's coming through your heart space, which now is different. So like, for example, the last reading I just did was all about self-expression. For you, it doesn't feel as much about what you actually say or actually do, but what it feels like. This is what your message is. It's about feeling loving, softening your heart. So wherever you want to close down your heart, and what does that mean? It means like somebody does something to you and you want to cut them off right there, right? You want to say something nasty. You want to, in your mind, be like, screw this person, I'm walking away. The cards are very clearly asking you, don't cut that off yet. Don't walk away just yet. Open your heart up. Soften your energy, because we got this card of never-ending story. So it might be something that's been going on and on and on and on. And then with the Eight of Swords, it is also, I beg your pardon, the Eight of Pentacles, it is that mastery, doing something over time. So maybe you have been at something for a long time now, a relationship, a job, a something. But what it seems to me like is it might not be turning out the way you wanted it to, because you've been too intellectual about it. You've been in your mind too much. Stats and figures and goals and all of that stuff has its place, and all of that stuff is amazing. And it's now the universe is asking for you to step into the heart energy, the feeling energy, the loving energy. What does love want you to do? You know, there's really a powerful exercise that it's a little woo-woo and it's not linear because it's not of the mind. It doesn't make sense, right? When we're dealing with the heart, we're never going to logically be able to figure out what's going on, right? It's going to be a feeling, a sense. It's more the intuitive space. So you can literally ask your heart, put your hand on your heart and ask your heart, okay, heart, okay, love, what would you have me do? And then whatever pops into your head first is the answer. So I would really invite you to take the month of May to do some journaling with your heart, to get in touch with your heart. Because my sense is that you've been going through something over time and it's becoming really tedious to you. You know, I really looked at this card as sort of the theme of the reading. So this never-ending story, you see how she's got her hand on her head and she's over, what is that called? When the sand is going through an hourglass. So it's like she's just watching the time tick away, tick, 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 and here it is again. It's just going on again. It's going, the same stories, the same conflicts, the same complaints, the same problems over. What do I do? What do I do? I can't figure this out. I can't figure this out. Right under her is a heart. That is the key for you. That is the answer for you. That is the thing that is going to unlock everything. Find your passion, express your love, open up your heart space and the answers will be revealed. Very, very powerfully revealed to you. So now is the time to really do a lot of journaling, because this is the energy that you're working with. You called this reading into your awareness, into your experience, because you needed to hear this message. I know this isn't super concrete, like, oh, you're gonna get a car in May or whatever, but that's not what your message is. Your message is more about your emotions, is more about your heart. And for whatever reason, you really, really needed to hear this. You are very much being asked to tap into that loving space, that open-hearted energy, that emotional, intuitive, loving space within you, to figure out whatever it is that's been going on and on and on and on and on with you. To balance out that intellectual energy, which I have a sense that you're really good at. I bet you're very, very bright. I usually get this card with very, very bright people. So what happens is, when you're very, very bright, is that you rely on that over and over and over and over again, which is fabulous, but it will continue to give you a similar result over and over again. So you might feel like this never-ending story, the same thing is happening again and again and again, because you're tapping into the same energy centers within you. And the universe is trying to teach you a lesson. You have to go into your heart space. It's not going to be solved with your mind. It has to be in your heart space. It's deeper. It's lower. It is softer. It's more ethereal. It's not as concrete. It's not as comfortable for you to stay in that heart space, probably. And I would imagine, because you've closed it down in some ways, it's huge. The energy of your heart is huge. People who have closed their heart down are because they are the biggest lovers. They've experienced the most amount of pain because their heart is so large. So the only way they can figure out how to survive in this crazy world is to close down their heart space and go into their mind. But what happens is that the universe is going to constantly give you lessons to try to teach you that that's not what you need to do, that you have to find a way to feel powerful within the vulnerability of an open heart. How do you do that? That's where your miracle is. That's where your magic is. That's where your breakthroughs will come. That's how you're going to get out of this never-ending story, is to go into your heart, into your passions. What would love have me do? I know it's a vague, weird question, and maybe for someone like you, it makes you very uncomfortable, but that is the question. That is the question that will give you the magic that you're looking for. What would love have me do? What do you want? What do you want me to do, heart? Okay, love, what would you have me do? And then go there. And I would venture to say it's going to be very different from what you're accustomed to. So if you fight with your spouse all the time, right? And every time you get into a fight, you go into that logical space where you're like, but you said this and I said this and this is what works and da-da-da-da and the bills and the this and the da-da-da-da-da-da. And what happens is that is more of the ego space, the mind. And so what we do is we match each other energetically all the time. So if you go into your headspace, your partner is going to go into the same. Your romantic partner, your business partner, whomever, will also go into that same space. So now you have two minds, two egos fighting it out. There's nowhere to go with that. You're going to get this same never-ending energy over and over and over and over and over again until you can drop down into your heart, open up your heart space, and come from a different energy. Kiss him, hug him, say, oh wow, you know what? We haven't connected in so long. Like, I love you. What are we doing? You know how that heart energy can shift things in a miraculous second. We've all experienced it in our lives over and over again. But it is that space that feels very vulnerable to us as human beings. So we often don't want to go there. It feels safer. We have the illusion that our mind is a safer space. You're not alone. The majority of the people on planet Earth like to get by in life with their intellect, but they're missing a whole other power source. And that is where you're moving. You're moving into this heart energy. And I have a sense that it's going to bring you mastery, which means mastery means that then abundance always follows. When you have real mastery of something, you're going to experience abundance. That's just how it works. So again, that's inside of a relationship or anything in your life. Money, creative projects, relationships. Once you become a master of it, which is not just of the mind, but it is the heart space, it's deeper, right? Mastery is deeper. It goes beyond the mind, because you don't have to, when you're really a master at something, your mind is not really involved anymore, right? Like, let's say an artist who paints, right? And at the beginning, they're following the instructions, they're like, paint by numbers. I do this. Okay, the teacher told me to do this. It's all mind. But once you learn that and the mind is on board and the ego knows I'm doing it right, then you can drop down further into the heart space, into that emotional space, where then your creativity can just flow through you. And then you create real works of art. Then you become a master. And then the abundance flows as a result of that. Same thing in a relationship. I do it this way. I know this person. I figured all this out. But until you can drop down into that heart space, that loving energy, you're not going to feel really like the relationship is full of abundance and love and unconditional love. You have to drop down further. So that's what May is going to bring you. And whenever you're watching this is the energy that you're currently working with. So even if you see this in July, it's still going to apply. This is really timeless. Like, you chose this video right now because these are the energies that you're working with. And your soul is asking you to drop down into your heart, to know that your intellect will always be there for you. It's not going anywhere. But now it's time to access a different power center. And it could just be, again, maybe it's not that you're not someone who operates inside of your heart all the time, but maybe it's just with that one thing, and you know what that one thing is. Because this is a general reading, it's going to apply differently for everyone. It could be a relationship, a work, a creative project, whatever it is that you've been hacking away at it with your mind. You're being asked to go into your heart space, into that loving, passionate space, so that you can have a breakthrough and experience something different inside of it. Okay? All right, group 3, this was your reading. Very, very powerful. I'm excited for you. I would love to hear what resonated for you in the comment section below. If you liked the video, a thumbs up would be amazing. Maybe even subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing lots of pick a card readings every week, so others may resonate with you as well. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and light. And until next time, be well. Hi, group 4. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today. Some non-traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards, some romance angels. We'll look at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the story, the larger story that wants to be told. So we're starting with the 2 of Swords, which is mental conflict in this deck. Then we have the 5 of Cups, which is emotional loss in this deck. Then we have the 2 of Wands, which is, in this deck, the waiting game. So right from the start, we've got 2 here. So choices, partnerships, decisions seems on the horizon for you. So then we have the 5 of Swords, or the 5 of Air in this deck. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. Then we have the 9 of Fire, or the 9 of Wands. Then we have the King of Air, or the King of Swords in traditional tarot. Then we have the 9 of Cups, beautiful, or the 9 of Water in this deck. Then we have the card of Codependency for the Romance Angels. Then we have the Honeymoon card. I like it. Then we have Weight of the World. Boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. Interesting. Okay. And then we got 2 oracle cards for you, actually. I had been choosing 1, but you got 2. And these are really, I feel, the theme of your reading. And we got the card of Round and Round. And we got the building blocks. Interesting. So the Two of Swords is, in this deck, it is mental conflict. It is like that stalemate energy. Like, where do I go? What do I do? I don't want to make a decision. I don't know what to do. Like, there's something that you're grappling with in May, and you're on the fence about it. You don't know which way to go. And it feels like it's something important, and it could be around a relationship. So then we have the Five of Cups, which is emotional loss. And this is like a card about crying over spilled milk in a lot of ways. Like, in the traditional tarot deck, this guy is like looking at his cups that have fallen. But then he has two other cups. He has three cups that have fallen, and he's staring at those cups that have spilled. Then he has two other cups, and those cups are filled, and he's not even paying attention to those. So it's like, it feels like there's new opportunities coming your way, but in the month of May, maybe at the beginning of May, you're really focused on some sort of loss. And then we have the Two of Wands, and in this deck, it's the waiting game. So I always feel like the Two of Wands is about making a decision. Again, it's a very similar energy to me as the Two of Swords. So it's like, what do I do? What do I do? Where am I going? Where is my life heading? And maybe it's like you've had some sort of a loss, and now you don't know where to go, and you're just focusing your attention on that loss as opposed to really seeing all this new stuff that's coming your way. So it feels like whatever loss or thing that you've seen, maybe it's your loss, maybe it's someone else's loss, maybe it's your partner lost his job or something like that, and that loss has stopped you from moving forward in some way. And that's what you start with at the beginning of the month. Then we have the energy of the Five of Air, or the Five of Swords, which is a card of conflict traditionally. In this deck, she's blindfolded and she's holding a mask. So it feels like she's not seeing something and she's not revealing something. Like, she doesn't want to see something that's been recently revealed to her. So it's like, and it is with this Nine of Wands energy, which is like a spiritual warrior energy. It's like this fortitude, this strength, this commitment, this dedication, strength of the heart, this passionate, purposeful dedication in some way. It almost feels like, to me, like you have been dedicated to something over time, and now it's like you don't want to look at something that's been revealed. Like some sort of truth or something has happened, and you don't want to see it because it would really like alter your whole life. And so instead of just dealing with whatever that is, you're not really doing anything. That's what it feels like to me. Then we have the card of the King of Swords next to the Nine of Cups. So again, it feels like there's a shift in perspective or some sort of insight or some sort of truth in some wish that you had that was granted. So this is what it feels like to me so far. It feels like you had either a relationship or a job or something, and it shifted in some way. It changed in something was revealed. Maybe you got in a huge fight with your spouse. Maybe you discovered something about your job that you may not get it again, or you're making less money or something like that. And it now has shifted what you thought was going to bring you happiness, what you thought was what your future would be about. And because it's changed so much of what you thought was your, the pinnacle of success for you, or the greatest relationship, or, the white picket fence American dream, you had it all in place for yourself. And now that's changed. And now what you thought was your 9 of Cups, what you thought was your wish fulfillment, what you thought was your dreams fulfilled is not anymore. And so you're stuck. You don't know what the heck to do. Because then we got the card of the weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. So it's like, it is that same energy that I was feeling before, that maybe it's like your spouse lost their job, or something happened in your work environment and now you're taking it on as yours. We got the card of codependency too. So very clearly, you are taking on something that's not yours. That codependent energy is like a lot of projections, like, oh, they're suffering, so I'm suffering. He lost his job, so I lost too. What do they think about it? How do they feel about it? And letting your emotional well-being be dictated by the people in your life. I have a sense that that's what's been going on for you. And in the month of May, you're going to have an opportunity to change that. Because it's not yours. You need to let it go. It's not yours to carry. The cross is not yours to bear. You may be a super loving person. I really was just drawn to this heart, this beautiful glowing heart in the middle of her heart chakra. Like, my sense is that you are just a love bug, and you are very generous and giving with your heart, and you want everyone to be happy, and you probably sacrifice your own heart, your own happiness for other people a lot, is my sense of you. And it feels like you can't do that right now for this situation. The world needs a lot of loving people, and I'm so grateful that you are, and I thank you for all the love that you've given to the world, because we need people like you. But you also have to protect yourself, and you also have to know what's yours and what's someone else's. And you cannot continue to give this loving energy of yours over and over again if you take on the pain and the suffering of everyone around you all the time, because you're not going to have enough. It's not like love is finite. Of course, it's infinite. It goes on and on and on and on. But you energetically only have so much to work with in your day. So if you're constantly putting out other people's fires, or if you're constantly being pulled by other people's emotional well-being, and you haven't found your own footing and your own grounding energy, then, it's like a mom. This is what I'm feeling about with you. I don't know if you're a mom or not, but this is the sense. I've worked with moms forever. So I'm not a mom myself, but I know and love many moms. And I know that moms have a tendency to give and give and give and give until they have no more to give. And what happens is, at the end of that, when they have exhausted all of their internal resources by giving and giving and giving to everyone around them, they lose it themselves, right? They can't take it. Then they become snippy. Then they're depressed. Then they're upset. Then they're drinking wine at 11 in the afternoon in the laundry room because they cannot take it anymore. And women are trained to be codependent. We're told in society that that's how we have value, by giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. But that is such a small part of our value. And really, your value is inherent in you as a human being. It's not about what you do for other people. It's who you are. You are inherently valuable. You are a child of God. You carry within you the spark of creation. So your energy field is the most important thing in your world, believe it or not. Your well-being is the most important thing. It's like When you're in the airplane and they say you put your own mask on first before you put your kid's mask on, you put your own mask on. So it feels to me like you have been putting everyone else's masks on and you are losing air. You are feeling heartbroken. You are feeling stuck. You are feeling like, I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm sad. I'm upset. I'm conflicted. The cards are very clearly telling me that it's time for you to replenish yourself, replenish your own heart space, and you're going to know exactly how best to do that for you. The first thing is to turn your attention to the beautiful things in your life, not other people's lives, but your own life. What are you happy for? What are you grateful for? What are you good at? How can you start to give your own self the love that you've been giving everyone else and replenish yourself? You see how that divine source is channeling down into her heart space? That is the energy that is flowing down to you. It's like the universe is like, you have given so much, we want to give now to you, but you have to be open and available to it. And the way that you be open and available to it is you shift your attention back to yourself, which doesn't mean, you neglect your kids or you neglect your husband or whatever, but it is that you don't have to sit there suffering with them. Oh, look at that loss, look at that loss, look at that loss. No, you just stand as an observer, loving them fully like you do so well, and saying, I feel for you, I love you, I have empathy for your suffering, but I'm not going to suffer with you anymore. I actually am good. I have so much to be grateful for. Look at my beautiful life. Look at my friends and my children and my relationships and my work and my home and all of this stuff. My breath, my health, whatever it is, I know that you have many things to be grateful for. And I feel like this energy of gratitude is really important for you. I don't want to skip over these last two cards. These were really I was looking at these cards as the overarching theme of the reading. And like I said, you got two, everyone else got one. So it's important that we look at both of them. We got the energy of round and round and building blocks. So there's two different things going on here. Building blocks is about that you have built your home on the sand. It's now falling apart. And now you got to lay down the cement. It's time that you start looking at and building more concrete foundations that will support you over time. So what that feels like to me is that you have been building your energetic fortitude, your energetic well-being on the people in your life. You've been looking for them to make you feel happy. Can I feel happy today? Is everyone else happy? Should I be happy then too? You know what I mean? And this is not to judge you. This is like many of us do that, particularly, like I said, as women and mothers in particular. Pardon me, I have to adjust. So it feels like what's happening is now you're getting into a new space where you're starting to see like, wow, this is crippling for me. As I start to give my energy repeatedly, or I notice how I've been giving my energy repeatedly to everyone else, how I'm focusing my attention on everyone else's emotional well-being and forgetting about my own, is causing me to be so stuck. Like, I don't know what the heck to do now. Can I move forward in this new project of mine? Can I be happy today? Like, I don't know. How's everyone else doing? And you get the stalemate energy where you're just like, you don't know who you are and what's happening and all that, right? Now is the time in May or whenever you're watching this, to start to build a more solid foundation within yourself. Now, here's the good news. We got this round and round card, which is not just about how life is cyclical and you always end up at the same place again. So in other words, it's like, oh, I'm having the same problems again. No. It's an upward spiral. So what that means is it may seem like you're having the same problem again, but you're actually farther up the ring. You're actually evolving. So you may be experiencing that same conflict, that same worry, that same problem, but you're a little bit more expanded this time. You have a greater perspective. You're a little bit higher. You're a little better than you were last time. So that's an important message for you, that you are doing great. You're doing great. You have a lot to be thankful for, and you have been doing a lot of work, I imagine, on yourself for some time now, and it's paying off. You may not see it right now. You may be focusing on all the things that you're not good at, all the things that have gone wrong in your life and everyone else's. But you're making progress. You're moving, you're evolving, you're growing, you're changing. And you're going to be laying a new foundation that's way more solid. Way more solid. I don't want to skip out on this honeymoon card. So this honeymoon card can be about getting married and going on a honeymoon. I never really look at this card that way. It could be about alone time with a lover, where you get to just enjoy each other. But if you are a mom, and I'm getting that energy from you, this is a general reading, so some of you may be moms, some of you may not, so you just apply it to you however it resonates. It feels to me more like a honeymoon period, alone time for you. So where can you find those spaces that are separate from your life, right? So what does this say? Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So it could be about a friend, a partner. I mean, I'm in quarantine. You may be watching this also in quarantine, so you may not be able to get away. But I think what this message is about you enjoying yourself, creating time to have fun. So it could be a bath where you talk to a girlfriend on the phone and you go, okay, everybody, I'm getting away for 20 minutes. Thank you very much. Going to take a bath, and it's going to be some grand adventure, and I'm just going to go enjoy myself and get my energy together, find my happiness again in this 20 minutes, because that's all I've got. Wherever you can find that time, that special time just for you. Have a Zoom conference with some girlfriends, whatever that is, where you can all really create the time for yourself. Because I have a sense that the more you feel good and the more you get back to your own energy, because it feels like you've been dissipating your energy, like I said, giving it away to outside circumstances, people, places, and things outside of yourself, and looking for all of that for validation. How should I feel? What should I think? Etc., etc. The cards are asking you to come back to yourself, to find what you're grateful for, what you're happy about in your own life, in your own little space, and cultivate that for yourself. And maybe for you too, it's about scheduling some regular time for yourself to do that. And over time, you will start to build a new foundation for yourself. So you don't have to expect that all at once it's all gonna change, right? I mean, I think that a lot of us do feel that way sometimes, that like, I took a bath, I felt good for 5 minutes, and then I came out in the living room and everyone's screaming at me, and now I'm pissed off again. That's okay. You take a bath one more time, and it becomes more regular, and it has a cumulative effect. And over time, block by block, this is not a huge construction site. This is, you found one block and you lay it down. You go about your day, you do your thing, you find another block. Maybe 2 weeks later, that's okay. But you always have in your head, I'm laying a new foundation of my own internal strength, my own internal peace, my own internal bliss, my own internal compass. I lay one more block down. Then I go get another block and I lay one more block down. And over time, I've got a whole new foundation. And I'm way up the spiral. I'm way higher than I was before. I thought I was back at the same thing again, but you know what? I'm actually standing high on top of these blocks. Isn't this beautiful? High on top of these blocks. I've built this whole huge, tall foundation. Now I'm way up the spiral, and I look down and I go, holy cow, I had no idea, but wow, my whole life is totally different now. My experience of life is totally different now. My sense is that it's not for you about a huge material shift. This is an energetic shift that we're talking about for you. And in the month of May are going to be some real opportunities for you to do that. I mean, we asked for predictions, so my sense is it's already happening. This is what's going on in your life, and this is confirmation. This reading, why you chose this reading to watch, is it's confirmation for you. This is the right track for you. That's absolutely right. You had that idea before that focusing on all of the things that are not working in your life or other people's lives around you are making you stuck. You're right. Now it's the time to start to focus on what sources you, what brings you life, what brings you joy, what brings you pleasure, what makes you happy, where you find peace. And block by block, over time, you will have a new foundation, you will have a new perspective, you will have a new life. Beautiful. I'm excited for you, Group 4. This was your reading. I hope that it brought you some insight and some clarity and some peace of mind in knowing that you are heading in the right direction and you are doing a great job and you are an incredible person. You deserve to be happy and grateful for your life. Yeah? I would love to hear what this reading was like for you in the comment section below. If you feel comfortable leaving a comment, that would be amazing. If you enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would also be incredible. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every week, so maybe there's others that will resonate with you as well. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well.